Dale, Sean Akers, Racing1.com over here. As a team owner, you've been involved with driver development programs for the last few years. Can you tell me what qualities that you see in a driver, besides one that wins races, obviously, what qualities you look for in a driver? And second question, and I apologize because this is 3 months ahead, but why is Talladega Superspeedway such a magical place for the Earnhardt family?
Well, when you're looking for drivers, well, I mean, I used to think I had an eye for talent, but now, I don't think so anymore. I think that you have to just, there's no real such thing as having a true eye for talent. I mean, there's a lot of guys that, like, I can put Mark McFarland and Brad and Shane Huffman in cars, and they can all go fast. What you need to do is they can all run quick, but they got to be able to take the next step, and that's be able to finish the races running that fast, be able to finish races consistently running that good and running that quick. And I didn't really see that in Brad. I saw the first half of it. I saw the second half of it. I saw him finishing races and taking care of stuff and being smart with his equipment. He'd take his car that was not very good and run probably better than he should. Apparently, maybe that's the guy you need to give a shot to, because I give him a shot and he's run great and he's not torqued my stuff. I had other guys that were fast, knew they were fast, put them in my car, they ran fast, but they wrecked a lot. And I couldn't convince them that was going to get them fired. And so, it just couldn't convince them. So, they'd go out there and back it in the wall the next week, and you go, I just told you that is not going to work. Let's stop doing that. And then 2 weeks down the road, we're in the fence again. And it's like, how do you, I don't know what else to do, And so I can only do what I know how to do, and that's look down the road to find somebody that, has that pre-programmed in their mind. You just got to, some guys do start off. Jeff Gordon wrecked a lot of race cars his rookie year in the Cup Series, and he changed, but that's rare, So I don't think it's real. I can't sit here and go, I got my own 3 or 4 guys watching them come up through the late model ranks, and we'll see which one's going to work out. Because if I tried to pick one out of the 3 right now, I'd probably be wrong every time. So you just have to hope you're lucky, like I was with Brad. I was real fortunate with Brad. That just worked out. It just happened to work out. I had good equipment. I was, looking for a driver, and he just happened to be the right time at the right place in his career. It's just a chance deal, in my opinion. I used to think, you could look around and pick guys, and, man, I can make a driver out of him, no problem. He's fast, and if he'll listen to me, which I'm sure he will. But that don't work. That does not work. So you just kind of have to be lucky. And circumstances. Like Rod Osterlund and my dad getting together. Who would have thought in 1979 that was going to win him a rookie title and a championship in 1980? That everybody else would have put their money on Cale and Junior because they'd won 3 in a row. And Daddy was a big surprise when he come down here and started leading in the Daytona 500 in 79. And so, it's just circumstances and chances and opportunities. But Talladega being special, I don't know. It's just always been fun for me. I always liked going there when I was a little kid. Loved going to that racetrack. And Daddy always run good there, which, when he ran good at racetracks, I was paying more attention to the race than goofing off. And so, obviously, I'm not a great road course racer because Daddy wasn't waxing too many road courses. So I was probably goofing off in the garage somewhere during those races. But, he always run good there, and so you always paid attention and watched and had fun watching those races. And they had a great little garage area and the little where we have our drivers meeting. That was always a fun place to hang out. And had a lot of great memories from going there when I was too young to drive. And believe it or not, I'd never raced anywhere but Myrtle Beach, and it was 1994. I'd only run 20 late model races. So I drove a street stock car, a legend car for a year, and then 20 late model races. My daddy, I was working at the dealership. My daddy called me one day and said, "We're testing the V8 for the Busch Series, and we want you to come down here and drive it." And so he said, "Don't tell nobody, just come. Be at the plane this hour." So I told the guys at work I was changing oil to the dealership. I said, "Look, I ain't coming back tomorrow. Just don't ask." And I went to Talladega, and I got in the car and drove around Talladega. And I thought that was the greatest thing in the world at that time. And I couldn't tell a soul. We sucked. But that was amazing. And I don't know, I just love the place. It's got a lot of history, obviously, with the Alabama gang and everything that happened there with that. And they made it a great racetrack and a popular racetrack, the Red Farmers and Bobby and all them guys. And we came in, won some races, and, made it a pretty exciting place too.
We're going to go to Dave. Then we've got a question on the teleconference, and then we'll come down and get two more.
Yeah, Dale, with so many drivers out of work and quality seats across the board in the 3 Series shrinking, to your mind, what can a guy do to help himself to get a job, in this market?
Shoot, man. Well, it's sort of every job that anybody. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can say that fully, but there's a large percentage of people who have jobs in this sport because of people they knew and connections and friends, and there's a small percentage of guys that worked for nothing for a little while to try to prove their worth. That was real common over at my dad's place in the 90s, was you'd come work for free for 3 months, and if we thought you were any good, we'd keep you and then start paying. I mean, we had just like everything else, man, over the last several years, we sort of all were living oblivious to, the perils of what we were to face and what we're facing now. And we sort of, we quit cutting corners and cost and started, stopped paying attention to the little things, trying to save a buck here and there. And it's sort of biting a bunch of people in the butt now. And, we just have to, I think it's important for us all to get back to some of the simpler ways of doing things. And there'll be, people are going to have to work for free in some cases to prove their worth. And that's I'm using that more metaphorically than anything, and because there's so much more supply when it comes to individuals than there is demand now, and it's tough. It's a very, very unfortunate time, and I'm speaking mainly around Mooresville and that area where so many people have lost their jobs. It's very, very unfortunate. It's very difficult, very challenging, and the mood is such, and a lot of you just drive around and see all these development properties have screeched to a halt, and they're just sitting there not moving and not developing. But it's unfortunate. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm as interested as everybody in this room to see where we're going to be in about a year and a half from now. I'm on top of that stuff. I mean, I read and study and try to understand the best I can about what's happening and what our, really how many different things can happen to us in the future and what happens to our sport, or how's our sport affected, and so should it get worse, how would it be affected? I try to have a good idea, because I'm in this. I have a lot of business connections in this sport and things that I'm doing as an owner and whatnot that, it'd be smart for me to be aware. I don't know how to get somebody a job, though. It's almost impossible right now.